Hi everyone, my name is Brian Pasquale, and I'm going to be talking about counterfeit goods as my topic for this business law presentation. The first thing I want to talk about is how to define a counterfeit good. In our text, it mentions that counterfeit goods are products that copy an authentic brand. These counterfeit goods, therefore, are not genuine and have been a problem within the US for many years. It also mentions that 7% of goods that are brought into the US would be considered to be a counterfeit good. That's quite a high number to think about, that out of all the goods that are being brought into the US, 7% of them are a counterfeit good. And yeah, these are not authentic goods. Some background and regulations that have taken place within the U.S. The government has taken some actions and regulations to stopping the production and manifestation of counterfeit goods. In 2006, the Manufactured Goods Act, SCMGA, was put in place. This act made it a crime for people who knowingly export and import counterfeit goods. This act, I also read more in the text, it's really just a deterrent for, it was really a deterrent to put in place so that people don't make any more counterfeit goods because it's now illegal. So yeah, that's one of the things that was put in place, or acts. What kind of impact of counterfeit goods have been kind of affected the luxury brands? That's a really big topic. According to Forbes, big name brand Louis Vuitton has been one of the most popular brands to counterfeit. It mentions that brands such as like Louis Vuitton, Goyard, Burberry, and other luxury goods have suffered greatly from these counterfeit goods and the people who are behind these. The counterfeiting piracy reached $1.7 trillion alone in 2015. Many counterfeiters have used these brand trademarks and logos, patterns, etc., to gain much wealth. So yeah, a lot of these bags that are counterfeited, they're not the authentic branding. They're using false labels, and that's just not the authentic brand. And kind of a little bit of a visual. I like to see things and see like what is a counterfeit good and what would be an authentic good. That's a really great question. I actually own a couple Louis Vuitton backpacks, and I got to see and feel what a real Louis Vuitton looks like. So as I point my cursor to the right, this backpack, the model name is the Michael. This backpack on the right is an authentic, true Louis Vuitton backpack. You can just tell kind of, it might be hard to see based off a photo, but you can really tell by the texture of this backpack, as well as you could feel the leather. Typically, an authentic Louis Vuitton backpack has Supreme leather on it and has great structure to it. On the caveat, they are high-priced bags, but these brands have been around for many years, and it's a reason why it's a high price, because they have such a high quality and such a high standard of what they're selling the bag for. Now as I make my way to the left, we have a counterfeit good. It's a little bit harder, but you could see from the right Louis Vuitton backpack, it's a little bit darker and more of a subtle color. The left bag, it's lighter, and you could just tell that the materials are not up to par of what Louis Vuitton would even allow. And yeah, that's some of the differences of how you can tell just faux and real, really just the materials and the pattern. And you can always look around, like look at the serial number. That's another big one. Another brand that's really popular to counterfeit is the Cartier Love Bracelet. This bracelet is really looked after, and a lot of people do want it, but it is a really high priced item. On the left is one of the Cartier Love bracelets. You could see that on this photo right here, you get a screwdriver as well as like the package, and there's a cleaning kit. This is what a traditional Cartier Love bracelet would appear. So that's the authentic one on the left. The one on the right, you could definitely tell straight off from the packaging. You can tell that the box isn't as superior to the one on the left. This bag, my apologies, this box definitely looks more daintier and just the overall cheapened look. You can also tell that every luxury good from Cartier to Louis Vuitton comes with an authenticity card. The authenticity card right here, you could tell straight off the bat, even with like the lettering, it looks cheap, and it's definitely not an authentic good. Yeah, so this is one of the this is the second example of what counterfeit good looks like, and this would be in the jewelry category. What is being done? I have a video that I wanted to really just show everyone. And let me pull it up real quick. Give me one moment. So this website is directly from the U.S. Customs and Border Protection, Department of Homeland Security. Let's see. So it has, it gives so much knowledge over here, this website. I also linked it in the presentation of what the truth and fallacies behind the counterfeit goods. You can just see just a visual, like the products that have been seized. 34% personal care, 31% sunglasses. We even have pharmaceutical products, which is really scary, 4%. Even down to perfume, 2%. Here's a little video of what CBP's doing to prevent the manifestation of a counterfeit good. Here we go.
American consumers drive not only the American economy, but much of the global economy as well. This makes the United States a favorite market for legitimate manufacturers the world over, and from storefronts on city streets and in shopping malls to websites online, Americans can find virtually anything they want. Unfortunately, this also makes us a favorite target for counterfeiters, terrorists, and criminals who pocket huge profits by manufacturing fakes. Everything from fashion apparel and pirated media to military-grade electronics and pharmaceuticals. Counterfeit goods are often made of inferior materials, manufactured under controlled and unsanitary conditions, and labeled with false information. As a result, they can threaten the health and safety of people who buy them. Fake products violate the intellectual property rights of legitimate companies and undermine those companies' reputations. They deprive workers here at home and overseas of badly needed jobs. A large percentage of counterfeit and pirated products are manufactured overseas. They are shipped to the United States in the stream of legitimate goods that continually flow into America's airports and seaports and across our borders. There to stop them are the men and women of U.S. Customs and Border Protection, protecting America 24/7.
The overall volume of U.S. imports makes it a real challenge for CBP in terms of IPR enforcement because we have to decide which of the hundreds of millions of shipments that enter the United States every year are suspect shipments for possible counterfeit or pirated goods, while at the same time ensuring the expeditious release into commerce of authentic goods. To put those numbers in context, on a daily basis, CBP processes about 77,000 commercial shipments. That's more than 28 million cargo shipments every year. In addition to that, there's more than 250 million shipments arriving in mail and express small parcels, some of which are commercial in nature, but we still have to look and decide which of those to examine. So a real challenge for us is sorting the good stuff from the bad stuff and deciding what to inspect.
The challenge might seem hopeless, but CBP has developed methodical strategies and powerful tools to support the effort. CBP has a multi-layered strategy to enforce intellectual property rights. It is a three-part strategy: facilitate, enforce, and deter.
With regard to facilitation, we're looking to identify the authentic shipments without inspection so that those goods are released immediately into commerce, reducing the cost to U.S. importers and more effectively using CBP's resources.
U.S. law requires importers to provide CBP with documentation for incoming shipments well ahead of their arrival. CBP uses this manifest and entry data to help identify suspicious shipments. In addition, through agreements with America's trading partners, CBP maintains teams of officers and investigators around the world to help identify suspect shipments even before they begin their journey to the United States.
With regard to enforcement, that's about making seizures, targeting the right shipments, determining that those goods are infringing and seizing those, and then ensuring that those goods are ultimately destroyed.
When an analysis raises a red flag, CBP issues an alert to the expected port of entry. CBP officers stop it from entering the country and subject it to rigorous inspection. Trained import specialists make a quick evaluation. If the goods appear to be counterfeit, they are detained pending further analysis, and samples are often sent to CBP's laboratories and scientific services for laboratory testing. If the analysis proves deceit, the goods are seized and destroyed. Just as important, CBP and its partner agencies launch an investigation of both the importer and the source of the bogus products. In this regard, CBP plays a key role in the National Intellectual Property Rights Coordination Center. The IPR Center coordinates a multi-agency effort to review and vet possible IPR infringement cases, assigning on a case-by-case basis which law enforcement agency will lead investigations and pursue prosecutions. To further strengthen IPR enforcement, CBP supplements its targeting activities with random inspections at U.S. ports of entry.
Recent trends indicate a rise in the attempted smuggling of counterfeit products through our courier service and international mail environments. These shipments are pharmaceuticals, contact lenses. To counter this trend, CBP has increased inspection efforts at our international mail and courier service facilities.
And the third piece is the deterrence part, where we want to prevent future violations by conducting audits of importers that are involved in counterfeiting and piracy to deter them from bringing in future goods by depriving them of the profitability of that activity. We make referrals to Immigration and Customs Enforcement for criminal investigations to take down the organizations that are involved, and we issue penalties finally to importers as well.
CBP continually examines this information on incoming shipments, targeting not just potential IPR violations, but high-risk shipments of all types. Analysts review shipment documentation, intelligence from overseas teams, and
Okay,
historical
everyone, this
data
was just a
on
little
importers and suspects.
snippet of what CBP is doing to kind of stop these counterfeit items entering the ports of entry within the U.S. Custom and Border. And yeah, give me one moment. Let me pull up the slide.